Hi guys, doing a little bit different type of video today. Today we begin to talk about ways to avoid emotional eating. And it's hard. I'm going to be honest with you. It is not an easy thing to overcome. And sometimes it sneaks up on you, and other times you should begin to be aware of it. But up until this point, I really haven't given you any keys on how to do that. And that's what we're going to talk about today. In my blog, I'm giving you 6 specific steps on how to begin to learn to overcome with your emotional eating. I'm not going to go into detail on too many of them, except for one, which happens to be my favorite and what I feel is the most important. But to begin with, what you want to do is you want to get yourself a nice journal. You want to start keeping track of your days. Write down your emotions when you experience them. Write down when you eat and why. And then after that, you get into a little bit more detail, and you'll start to recognize a pattern. And I would like you to check out my blog for those specific details. But the one I want to talk to you about in detail today is finding ways to give yourself pleasure. Now, what I mean by that is when you get upset, angry, depressed, one of the first things you start to do is think of food. I know that is for me. That's my first thought. And sometimes I'm halfway through a bag of chips or a pint of ice cream, and at that point, you just keep right on going. But learning to recognize when you get emotional and why is the key to helping you start to overcome them and eventually deal with them in a much healthier fashion. Now, one of the ways, or many of the ways I like to experience pleasure is what I'm doing right now. I'm standing outside on my deck, and I apologize if the sun blocks out some of it because I can't see the best. But this, I moved here in August, and I'm going to switch the camera so that you can see what I'm seeing. And it's not going to let me do that. So I'm going to flip the phone around, and hopefully you'll get a good bird's eye view. Okay, as you can see, I'm surrounded by fields. Okay, I'm out in the country, out in the middle of nowhere, which is an absolute blessing. I love it. I've got a fire pit down there, if you can see it. Hopefully I'm pointing in the right direction. And as you'll see on my deck here is one of my favorite things to do now. Of course, because I'm out here, you're not going to see any of them. But I've begun to enjoy watching birds. I've got all kinds of beautiful finches and cardinals and blue jays and orioles, but hummingbirds are my favorite. So that is one of the things I like to do, especially early in the morning when they're lively and they're chirping and singing their little songs. But one of my other favorite joys is what is going to be down here, and of course she's hiding right now, so I'm going to see if I can get her over here. Stormy! And hopefully I didn't just yell in your ears. But me and my dad put this fence up in August before I moved, and I can't begin to explain the joy it is to just walk outside my deck and be able to see my little girl who is hiding right at the moment. So while I'm talking, maybe she'll make herself known and I'll be able to show you a picture of her then. Or maybe I'll even post a picture on at the end of my blog for you to see. But as you can tell, I'm out here. It's beautiful. It has been raining yesterday and today, and now it just finally got sunny out. It's a little windy, but other than that, it is just beautiful. And I just love it out here, being all by myself. It's quiet at night to listen to the little crickets and everything else, all those wonderful little night noises. But the thing is, you got to find out what you enjoy. Do you enjoy bird watching or horseback riding? Do you enjoy things like this? And I'm going to point it up here. You can see that little gray furball right there. She just said hello. Or maybe you like dogs, you know, whatever the case may be. Maybe you like to scuba dive or listen to music, go to a movie or rent movies. You know, find what it is that you truly enjoy and start to recognize when you need to really find yourself some pleasure. Start to take away the food and replace it with something that you truly enjoy. It doesn't take long to get over that first initial temptation of wanting to eat, but it is a struggle to take that first step. Trust me, it is. And unfortunately, she's still not going to come out here and show herself, so I'll just post a picture for you on my blog so you can see her. She's Stormy, and the little fur ball I showed you was Shadow. So anyway, again, in a nutshell, find your pleasure, learn to accept your emotions, and again, please read my blog, and again, more information coming tomorrow. Have a great day.